Hello, everybody. It's Stephanie Courtney with the Learning Project. I want to welcome you to our leadership and professionalism segment. You guys, I have an exciting guest. Her name is Janette Burke, and she's a multimedia expert, you guys. You do not want to miss this. This is a great conversation to help you grow as a leader. Let's go.
I think what makes the worst come out in people is kind of when they feel invalidated or unheard or unnoticed. And sometimes that's because they're not being listened to. Like, there's a difference between, listening and active listening, because 90% of the time when people listen, they listen to reply rather than to really understand what the person's saying. Sometimes see the worst behavior as sort of a response or reaction, and sometimes when we can't express ourselves properly, it comes out in negative energy or negative behavior. So there is a saying, those who cry the loudest hurt the most, or those who shout the loudest hurt the most. We need to look at that, because usually that's where that person is when they're acting their worst, right? And there's some precipitous that is making them act their worst, right? But when you feel authentic and real and whole and appreciated and truly respected and valued, it's like, a whole new beginning. It's like, honestly, like somebody takes you from being deeply buried from within, maybe even buried alive, the feeling of being buried alive, to suddenly opening up your coffin, taking out the spike, and letting all this air come in and letting you circulate and be your best. Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Yeah. So that's one way to handle it. Another way is, like, I find when times get tough, sometimes my creativity gets going, right? And so I think that, just sort of taking a step back, sometimes a bit of a deep breath, and just sort of figuring it out, right? Like, if one thing isn't working, then you gotta make some changes, right? Because you learn. That's how you grow. You have to just take a step. One step, a baby step, and from that step take another and another and another, and you just perfect it until you get it right. And I would also say a big piece of advice from somebody who is like a type A overachiever, very, very hard on herself, very critical. Stop being so hard on yourself. Be a little more loving and forgiving, because believe it or not, people don't look and judge you the way you think. It's not about everything being perfect. It's about you pushing the ball up the line a little bit, like you just gotta start somewhere. Everybody's gotta start somewhere. Figure it out, or you need to tweak to figure it out to make it viable. It's gonna happen, right? Nobody's gonna tell you it's not gonna happen. But sometimes, and this is a very key point too, if you're not surrounded by the right people to help fuel you in your business, then you gotta let them go. So they have no right to killjoy your dreams. Right?
Oh, yeah.
They have no right. Because the thing is, you gotta remember, you did it, right? Yeah. If you're doing it or you did it, kudos to you. You did it. Nobody can take that away from you. Why can't we work together? Why can't we lift each other up and, support each other, hold each other's hands, and truly be sisters, as opposed to, tearing each other's eyes out, right? Look, if we don't make mistakes, we don't learn, we don't grow, right? Yeah. So sometimes you need to get a few hard knocks just to figure out what, the right path is going to be. No one can go through life always being right.